your brain is being systematically hollowed out, and you might be calling it convenience. Every scroll, every recommendation, every autoplay, training your attention to wait for instruction instead of generating thought. The algorithm doesn't feed cognition, it replaces it. You stopped deciding what to think about. You started reacting to what appeared. That's not efficiency. That's cognitive outsourcing at industrial scale. Notice what happens when you open an app without intent. The feed decides, the suggestions decide. Your executive functions. This isn't about distraction. This is about architectural change in how your mind allocates processing resources. Your brain evolved to forage for information, to hunt patterns, to construct meaning from incomplete signals. Algorithmic curation removes that entire layer of cognitive work, and work atrophied becomes capacity lost. The pattern shows up everywhere. You can't remember the last book you chose without a recommendation engine. You can't recall when you last sustained attention on a problem for 20 unbroken minutes. Your thoughts now arrive pre-filled. You've been enrolled in a planetary scale experiment in attention reallocation, and the cost isn't measured in time. It's measured in neurological infrastructure you no longer maintain. Passive consumption doesn't just waste attention. It trains dependence. Every algorithmic decision you accept is one less decision your prefrontal cortex has to make. Sounds efficient, except decision-making is what keeps that system functional. Use it or lose it isn't metaphor, it's metabolic reality. The brain prunes unused pathways, synaptic connections that don't fire weaken. Neural circuits that don't get activated atrophy. Your capacity for self-directed cognition is structurally expensive to maintain. And if the algorithm makes those choices for you long enough, your brain stops budgeting resources for them. You didn't lose focus. You were systematically trained out of it. Look at how you interact with information now compared to 5 years ago. How long can you read without reaching for your phone? How deeply can you think about a single concept before the urge to switch contexts arrives? That's not personality. That's conditioning. Algorithmic environments optimize for engagement, not cognitive development. Those two objectives diverge almost immediately, and you've been living in the divergence. Engagement means minimizing friction. Cognition requires it. Deep thought is metabolically expensive. It demands sustained attention, tolerance for ambiguity, resistance to premature closure, all the things infinite scroll is designed to eliminate. The algorithm gives you answers, not the capacity to generate them. And now your cognitive infrastructure reflects that trade. You're faster at recognition, slower at synthesis, better at reacting, worse at reasoning. Here's what breaks the cycle. Structured resistance. You need environments that refuse to think for you. Tools that force cognitive effort instead of eliminating it. Systems that make you decide instead of serving you decisions. Start with Substrate, a blank page notebook designed for deep workforces, manual thought architecture. The Luctum 1917 hardcover, .grid. No prompts, no templates. Just empty space that refuses to autocomplete your cognition. Links in the description. Physical writing reactivates executive control. Your hand moves slower than your thoughts. That lag creates space for editing, for refining, for choosing what actually matters before it becomes permanent. You can't scroll past a blank page. You have to fill it. That's the opposite of algorithmic interaction. No suggestions, no recommendations, just you, and the demand to generate structure from nothing. Next layer. Controlled information intake. Your browser is a cognitive attack surface. Every tab, every notification, every autoplaying sidebar, training you to fracture attention and call it multitasking. Freedom or cold turkey. Site blockers that don't negotiate. You set the parameters. The software enforces them. No willpower required. Just architectural constraint that makes focus the default instead of the exception. You're not blocking distraction, you're removing the choice to be distracted. Because here's the truth about attention in algorithmic environments. It's not a battle you win with discipline. It's a system you lose to by default, unless you change the infrastructure. Willpower depletes. Architecture persists. Now add signal filtration. You're drowning in input. Most of it algorithmically amplified noise designed to trigger engagement, not insight. RSS readers, Feedly, or InnoReader. You choose the sources. You control the update frequency. No algorithm between you and the information. That's not just convenience. That's cognitive sovereignty. You decide what's worth your attention. Not an engagement optimization system trained on behavioral data from 3 billion users who aren't you. Most people consume information backwards. They let the feed surface what's loud, what's recent, what's viral. Then they try to extract meaning from the noise. Reverse it. Decide what matters. Then seek signal that matches. That's not filtering reality. That's protecting cognitive bandwidth from systematic contamination. Next, temporal structure. Your day probably has no defined cognitive blocks. You switch contexts whenever something pulls you. That's not flexibility. That's fragmentation. Time blocking isn't productivity theater. It's attention architecture. The time timer, visual countdown. No digital interface. Just a shrinking red disk that shows exactly how much focus time remains. Physical temporal feedback changes task perception. You're not working until you feel like stopping. You're working until the structure releases you. That external constraint removes the cognitive load of deciding when to switch. The timer decides. You execute. Sounds rigid. It's the opposite. Rigid structure creates cognitive freedom because you're not spending executive function deciding what to do next. The architecture already decided. Now here's the piece most people miss. Cognitive recovery. You can't just block the algorithm and expect your attention to repair. Atrophy reversal requires deliberate reconstruction. Boredom is the rehabilitation protocol. Sit, no input, no stimulation, no task. Just you and the absence of external signal. 5 minutes daily. Your brain will panic. It's been trained to expect constant stimulation. Withdrawal from that pattern feels like malfunction. It's not. It's recalibration. Boredom is when your default mode network activates. When your mind starts generating instead of receiving. When internal signal processing restarts. That's not wasted time. That's cognitive infrastructure maintenance. Most people can't tolerate it. 3 minutes in, and they're reaching for their phone. Not because something urgent happened, because the absence of input now registers as threat. That response is diagnostic. It tells you how deep the dependency runs. If you can't sit with your own thoughts for 5 minutes, you don't have an attention problem. You have an architectural one. Here's the recovery pathway. Start small. Rebuild gradually. Week 1, 5-minute boredom blocks. No input. Just sit. Let your mind wander. Don't force thoughts. Don't suppress them. Just observe what emerges when there's no feed to fill the space. Week 2, add analog reading. Physical books, no highlights, no note-taking apps. Just text and your attention. 30 minutes minimum. Not because digital reading is bad. Because you need to retrain sustained focus without the affordance to switch tabs. Week 3, introduce creation before consumption. Write 3 sentences before you check any feed. Draw something. Solve a problem on paper. Anything that requires output before input. You're reversing the flow. Making your brain generate before it receives. That's how you rebuild cognitive agency. Most people never realize how much they've outsourced. They think they're still thinking, they're not. They're curating reactions to algorithmically selected stimuli. Real cognition is generative. You produce signal, you construct meaning, you decide what's worth processing. Algorithmic environments invert that. They produce the signal, they construct the context, you just react. And reaction isn't thought. It's reflex with extra steps. The tools aren't the solution. They're the infrastructure that makes solution possible. You can't think your way out of systemic cognitive atrophy. You need environmental redesign that makes deep thought the path of least resistance. That's what these tools do. They remove algorithmic intervention. They reintroduce friction. They force your brain to do the work it's been avoiding. And work resumed becomes capacity restored. You won't feel smarter immediately. You'll feel slower, more effortful, like your brain is underperforming. That's accurate, it is underperforming. Because the infrastructure's been neglected. But 3 weeks of structured resistance and something shifts. Thoughts start arriving without prompts. You can hold a problem in mind without reaching for distraction. You remember what it feels like to think instead of react. That's not productivity. That's cognitive continuity. The algorithm didn't break your brain, it interrupted the maintenance cycle. An interruption sustained becomes degradation. These tools restart the cycle. Blank pages force structure. Site blockers enforce boundaries. RSS readers restore signal sovereignty. Time timers create temporal containers. Boredom rehabilitates generative capacity. None of this is optional if you want your cognition back. The algorithm will keep serving. Keep optimizing. Keep making your choices for you. Unless you build infrastructure that refuses the service, your brain's still capable of deep work. Sustained reasoning. Original synthesis. But capability without use is just latent atrophy. The tools are in the description. The protocol is above. What happens next is architecture. Disclaimer, this channel explores cognition, perception, and systems thinking. It does not provide medical, psychological, or therapeutic advice. If you are experiencing mental health concerns, consult a licensed professional. Some links may be affiliate links. Recommendations are based on relevance to cognitive systems and informational clarity.